art is the oldest way of expressing oneself, and I think more needs to be done to get that out, or at least to express that messages can be put across in a powerful way aesthetically, rather than verbally. My name is Ted Mikulski. I'm an artist, I think. I'm not a very political artist. I'm not a very controversial artist. I like to do my own thing, and I like to be fun. At the same time, I think it's kind of good to look at what other artists do, understand why they do it, and take what they do and sort of allow it to evolve your own style and your own way of creating.
Good choice.
Have a nice night.
I think art has evolved into a hybrid, a really complex hybrid. So you have some of the best artists of our time that are being hired by Lexus and Mercedes and Intel to make their advertising campaigns. Some of the greatest video art I've ever seen has been commercials, which unfortunately loses the power of the message to begin with. So you have a lot of incredibly talented people that need work. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, these are people that could do some incredible stuff by themselves, but they need to make money. They need to pay their bills and eat. So you can't fault them for that at all. But the matter of factly, as a society, being an artist is sort of a little bit taboo. It's how, the starving artist effect, which was sort of perpetuated in the 60s when everybody was living in New York, living very cheaply, and that's some people do that. Some people have to do that to survive in order to create. But at the same time, you have a lot of artists that are really talented people that can do some really incredible social affecting work that can be really, really dynamic, really interesting. And at the same time, you have a lot of artists who are producing art that they think people want to see. There's a lot of artists that produce art that is pictures of paintings of beaches or paintings of forests, and they may draw inspiration for that. Not faulting them for that, but it may be the way that people are selling art, is they need to focus on that style of painting. So I just want to get the message out that you can do what you want to do. You may not be able to do it full time. You may not be able to do it all day long, but you may be able to do it a couple hours after work, maybe before you go to bed. Do what you love as an artist. There we go. You found me. How you doing, man?
Good.
It's good to see you.
I'm Zin.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah. So you sent me the email?
Yeah, no, I met you at Fernando's gallery.
Oh, yeah. Good to see you, man. Which one would you like? I got a big selection today, actually.
Oh, can I pick?
Got a thing on wood. Yeah, of course.
Oh, cool.
Piece on wood. A lot of people don't really understand why to give art away for free.
What's the catch?
No catch. There's nothing you have to do. You don't have no drugs. You don't have to contact me. You don't have to do anything. Just enjoy it. It's free art. I do have a card, but you don't need to do anything. And I understand that because artists, they need to make a living. I mean, you need to sell art in order to pay your bills and to afford paint and all that stuff. So it makes sense to sell art. I'm not against selling art. It's part of what being an artist is all about.
But why?
It's part of a big project. I thought.
What's the name of the project?
Free Art 2012. I'm just giving away I'm giving 1,000 pieces away of original art.
Really?
The project about giving away things for free puts into question how much people should be spending, or maybe what kind of elitism is going on in the art world. I mean, if you don't attend galleries, then you're not seeing art. I mean, maybe you're experiencing online or something like that. This allows you to experience original art in person without any worry about being pressured into spending lots of money for it or all kinds of things like that.
This is the first time I see free art in Seoul.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Who's got free? Nobody has to free.
This is free.
You know?
The responses have been pretty good. I mean, I've gotten a lot of positive reinforcement from everybody around me. It's been really great. I mean, the gallery owners are confused by it. A lot of people are confused by it, but at the same time, that's really what good art projects are all about.
What's the purpose behind this, may I ask?
I'm giving away 1,000 pieces over 10 days, and I think it's just a cool idea of getting art out to people, you know, just getting in front of people that may not select it or go to galleries.
Yeah.
So, you know, it ends up being sort of self-fulfilling in that sense.
This is free?
Free. So the free art project was something that I came around and I said, wouldn't it be fun to give some art away? I mean, let's you know, art is always so expensive. It's inaccessible for a lot of people. A lot of people can only afford prints and things like that.
And I think that, you know, there's to a certain extent, you have a job, you have to make a living, you have to earn a living, but, you know, you can give stuff out for free as well. That's saying I don't think you should do it, like, you have the right to, you know, earn money for what you're doing, but I think specifically with art, more so than other things, if you don't make it free, you probably won't reach as many people as you want to.
So I thought, let's give some stuff away. Let's give it to them for free. They don't have to work for it. They don't have to have any incentives. They just get handed it for free, and that's it. That's the end of the transaction. They can choose to follow what I do in the future, or they can choose to throw the piece away. It's whatever they want to do. It's their choice.
I love it. I mean, when else are you going to get something like this for free?
The idea was to originally give away just like 100 pieces. It was going to be sort of a nice little small project that you know still took a lot of time and effort to do. And to be clear, I wanted to make sure that each piece was really nice. I wanted to make sure it was gallery quality, that it was something that I didn't rush. I wanted to be proud of every single piece I was creating. That 100 pieces evolved over time. I started this 18 months ago, and it evolved over time, and it became 200 and 300, 500, then it became 1,000. So I completed 1,000 pieces, and then you know, it ended up being a little bit more than 1,000 now that I think it's time to release the project, put the pieces out there, and see what kind of feedback I get. So I don't know what kind of reactions we're going to get. I think it's going to be pretty funny. I think it's going to be a little awkward at sometimes. I think you're definitely going to get people that appreciate it and find it interesting, and at the same time you're going to get people who are confused by it or don't want to be a part of it. It's going to be a good mix, I think.
Free art? Yeah, free art. Come grab some artistic stuff. Cool.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day. Yeah, cool.
What's your name?
Ted Mikulski. Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, you could. I'll give you a card. There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I like to do a lot of crafts and art.
Yeah, she's
Yeah?
really-
Do you want to be an artist one day? If you were an artist, would you give away your work for free?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, it depends on whether I had a day job.
Yeah, you like the ghost? What does it remind you of?
Pac-Man.
She thought it was
That's
a
like-
flower.
It is
That's
a
why
flower.
she chose it, yeah.
Do you like flowers? I like it.
They were really happy. They were climbing on the lion when he brought it over to them. So they were happy. Like, yeah, and right away they didn't
I
even
think
think
it's
it was
really good,
strange.
too.
Right away they were like, yeah, I want the flower. I want the ghost.
How important do you think it is to expose kids to the arts in this
It's
kind of
incredibly
direct
important.
way?
Incredibly important.
It's really important.
Because then also they'll take it home and they'll want to try to make it. You know what I mean?
Right.
When they see it and you'll put it up on the wall and you'll talk about it and like you'll carry on that conversation like he's an artist. Oh, what did he use to make that? What could you use? You know what I mean?
Right, and getting that's good. Do you
Yeah.
think in a city, are you guys are from New York?
Yeah.
Do you think that in the city sometimes it's hard maybe to get kids directly interacting with living artists? You know, sometimes
It's not
like
hard if you're an active parent because the public schools give the cool culture card, which is like free passes for families to go to museums. So if you take advantage of what the city offers, I don't think it's hard. But there's a lot of distractions in the city. And there's a lot of ways that like, you know, people get busy, but really you can get into the Met for basically free. You can get into the cloisters for free. If you have the cool culture card, you can get to the Guggenheim, the Children's Museum, the Intrepid, like so many things for free with your kids. So if you do that and take advantage of it, your kids should be seeing. Also, New York is art. Like, look at the architecture. Like, you live in a city of art, you know?
Right, and I get this project is great. And a great
It's
example of
incredible.
art walking right up to you.
It really is, because he's got a friendly disposition and it's all his own artwork, and he's happy to give it to you, and then the kids are happy to receive it.
Do you think that more modern artists and living artists, especially, because you ask people who's your favorite living artist, a lot of people say, oh.
They don't know, right?
Right. So do you think more artists should be looking for this kind of engagement with the public by giving away art, or
Yes,
do you think it devalues
exactly.
art?
No, I think it's really good because
Yeah.
I didn't know who this guy was until today. So
And
there you go.
and-
Now I like
and-
him.
And I can say for a fact that we'll go home and Google him.
Yes, we will.
I know that we will, because his name is on the back, and we'll go home, we'll Google him. We'll probably find him on Facebook. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Awesome. All right.
Or we'll find him through like whatever. I know we will. And now you have a memory for life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evolution in art, and so you watch artists do certain things. So you see them paint on all kinds of different mediums, and you realize as an artist that all mediums are acceptable. Some artists will only focus on canvas work. That's what you got to focus on. That's what's going on the wall. That's what people buy. Well, it's not exactly true. I mean, there's all kinds of different things you can do, whether it's a discarded piece of cardboard or a window or whatever it is. It's still a medium. It's a thing to produce art on. That's why I drew on my car, for example, because it's a beautiful medium. I liked it, so I decided that would be the medium of what I wanted to work on. And so there's a lot of opportunity out there to not let an item stay an item that was bought at IKEA. You can paint it, you can change it, you can create a piece of art out of it, and at the same time make it a personal thing. So the 1,000 pieces are incredibly diversified, because they can be, because you can draw on anything and you can produce on anything. It's the same reason why I draw all over my office desk and paint whatever people want me to paint, sunglasses. I mean, I'll do whatever I feel like doing, and that should be what artists do. I have my debut New York solo show on August 11th. It's a big deal to get into a New York gallery. It's really exciting. It's at the Dorian Gray Gallery on East 9th Street. And importantly, the project has no connection to the opening. So there had been the concept before was to place the 1,000 pieces in some sort of a venue, some sort of a building, and have people come in and pick which ones they want. And I opted out of that because, first of all, it might be a mob scene, or you might not get enough people to get 1,000 pieces. So there's problems with that, but the exhibition has no content, no direct connection with the project. The exhibition is an art exhibition. I was lucky enough to be offered an art exhibition, and I graciously accepted. The project is not advertising. It's not meant to bring those 1,000 people to the opening. If some people want to come, sure, why not? It's an open exhibition, but that's not the point. The point is to get people, to allow them to have free art, to just give them an opportunity to, here's an original piece of art, enjoy it, no strings attached, have fun, whatever. That's what it's really meant to be. It's meant to be a fun project. So I'm not giving them a promotion card with the pieces. I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I'm just saying, here you go. You want to talk to me a little bit about it? You want to find out who I am? Great. Let's have a conversation. But there's no need for that. There's no sales pitch. In Egypt, to take a sort of recent contemporary look at things, there's an amazing array of street art that was getting the message out without having to worry about what was being tracked on the internet or what was being picked up on cell phones and things like that. So you could do it anonymously and yet still affect the masses, depending on what your message is or where it was placed. So that's an example of what art can do, and on a sort of not as aggressive level, you have the galleries and the nonprofits and all the organizations that can look to art to get messages out. I mean, the spoken word, the written word is a powerful thing, but art is the oldest way of expressing oneself, and I think more needs to be done to get that out, or at least to express that messages can be put across in a powerful way aesthetically, rather than verbally.
We have to support our people community and make it happen where we can happen and do what we can to keep the spirit alive. As artists, we create because we have to and we must. Our society doesn't really support it over, say, for program support or anything, but it's if we can support each other and work together, and most certainly if we collaborate. Part of it is about the exchange of ideas. It's that spirit and that energy and idea, and that whole urge to do something, but also it's about growth and connection. And so we really need to work together with people to elevate all of us together. It's about seeing more and being more and doing as much as we can for everybody.
I mean, it's got to be daunting, and to try to bring all those moving parts together. But you need collectors because they buy. You need gallerists because we show. You need artists because that's the product. So it's a trifecta of elements coming together. But everyone has to, everyone can support the arts. I think I said earlier. During one of the segments we were talking about earlier, where not everything has to be this like highfalutin price point for an acquisition. You can get a robot for $300. You support an artist through that purchase. You support my gallery through that, and we go on. We live to fight another day.
I learned something a long time ago. It's called "Do what you're going to do and ignore everybody."
Show came together really nicely. It's a lot of different work that I've been producing for the past 2 years. A lot of it's a reflection of the free pieces. So in tandem with this show, I was working on all the free pieces. So you have 1,000 plus pieces being created along with the gallery pieces. So there's a lot of influence of one another. The smaller pieces have been influenced by the gallery pieces and likewise. So it's been really interesting. There's a lot of great people here. A lot of people are enjoying the aesthetics, and it's great to see that. And there have been some people that got some free pieces that have come to the show, just saying how much they liked getting a piece of art on the street in New York, and coming to this exhibition, coming to the gallery, and supporting me as well. And that's great to see.
His family is extremely supportive. His sister and her husband are here tonight. His parents would be there, but they're on vacation. So everyone is really supportive of what he does, and I think that really helps in terms of how much he can push himself and exactly what his outcome is. But I don't know. I love it. I love everything he does. So it's hard for me to really.
I don't know if I would change much. You definitely have to alter where you are. If I were to take this to London or Japan, somewhere outside of the United States, culturally it would be different. But I don't think I would change the way that I've interacted with people. So I would try to hand out some. Sometimes I would try it with a sign. Somehow the art needs to get to the people.
The biggest roadblock is oneself. The person gets in his or her own way. By listening to everybody else telling you what to do and not to do. Just go ahead and do it.
So what do you think about art critics?
I never think about art critics. As a musician, I've gotten plenty of criticism. I never think about music critics. That's why I've had a career.
So how do you define creative success?
Actually, everybody defines that for themselves. I think it's really best to do that on one's own terms. There are probably 10 or 12 or countless ways to do that, but I would be very careful in judging others, and I'm very careful in judging myself. I think success is on its own terms.
We got married in June, so things have been hectic, especially with the show and getting everything ready, the free art project. So it's been hectic, but it's been a lot of fun.
So what's it like to be married to an artist? Is it?
It's actually a lot more fun than you would think. Whenever I want something for the wall, I'll be like, can you make that for me? So I love it. And he made our wedding, like our invitation, so everything's really creative and personal, and I don't know, we have a lot of fun with it.
I have a few extras, and the project has ended. I've given away over 1,000 pieces. I do have a few extras. I think the best decision for me is to give them away to maybe a children's hospital. I still want them to be free pieces. The project's over now. The 10 days has been completed, and I don't want to continue that. So I would like to maybe give them to children or maybe the elderly, somebody that could really appreciate it, but have it be donated at the same time.
I think people can become as involved as they want to. And I think there are ways to find out the information. I mean, sometimes we have too much time on some of these other social mediums that we think have to take the steps for us. They can't go to the places for us. They can't make those steps out to the place. They usually will not be interacting with the artists. They won't be interacting with the street. So we're going to have to, in addition to social media, deal with things like real face-to-face and working with artists and communities. And why wouldn't we? That's about being human.
Do what you really want to do. Do exactly what you really want to do. And like I said, ignore everybody.
So I think that art is an incredibly powerful thing, and I really think that it can be a movement for change. And I think it can do a lot that people maybe necessarily don't understand or don't pay attention to automatically.